right, friends, let's talk about the term near and far. So when something's near us, that means it's close to us. So let's write down those words. Near is close. And far means that it's not close, right? So when I see something close to me, usually I have lots of details, right? So if, let's say, example, our hands, let's put them really, really close to us. If we look at our hands really, really close, I can see all the bumps here. I can see my freckles. I can see all my tiny little hairs, right? I can see all of the wrinkles there. I can see all of my nail polish, right? And you might find all of these little details that you wouldn't have noticed if it weren't up close to you. However, let's think about if it was farther away. So I'm gonna move you guys for a second here. So this is my hand far away. I really can't see a lot of my details anymore, can I? Maybe I can see where my folds are. Maybe I can see my nail polish still. Maybe I can still see some of my redness or my hairs, right? But I really can't see a lot of detail. Sorry, I'm gonna move you back, all right? So the idea is when it's near us, that means that you also have details, right? But when it's far away, we don't really see it. So no details. All right. So that's our idea. Now we can even think about that by thinking about planets, right? So if we are really, really close to the sun, right? We might see the full sun, right? We might see its waves. I'm just gonna draw some little fun waves here. We might see some waves, right? We might see that there's like some hot spots, so some of it might be red, some of it might be yellow, some of it might be orange. We can maybe see some fire coming out of it, right? But when we're down in Earth, right, and the sun is really far away from us, what do we see? We just see a tiny, tiny little thing. Yeah, we can maybe see that it's yellow. Yeah, maybe we can see that it has some little kind of bursts coming from it, but not very much, can we? We can't see all of the details that we can when it's super duper close to us. So that's the difference between near and far. Near means that it's close and that there's details. Far means that it's not close and that there's not a lot of details. All right? So today I just want you to tell me what you learned about near and far. All right. I hope to see you all soon. Bye, my friends. All right, friends. So we're going to keep on going with near and far. And we're going to learn about how we can make near and far in space. Now, when we look up at the night sky, we do see like tiny, tiny little stars, right? But we know that the planets are big, right? And we're gonna pretend that we're among the planets, just like if we were in a rocket ship. And we're going to pretend if we can see everything as close to us, like the planets, as we can. So if I can see a planet really close to me, do you think it's going to be big or do you think it's gonna be small? It's gonna be big, because if it's close to us, it's gonna be big, right? So I might even have it where I can't even see the whole paper, right? So that's a part of my planet. And if I want to add, maybe like it has a ring, kind of like Saturn, maybe I want to add that, right? And maybe it has a moon. And guess what? The moon is also close to us, right? So it's not tiny. So their moon is probably just a bigger circle. A big circle that's just smaller than the planet itself, right? Now, what if I want to think about something that's a little bit farther away? What if there's tiny, tiny stars? Because guess what? Even if we're among the planets, there's still gonna be stars far, far away from us, right? So we're just gonna draw some tiny, tiny stars, right? That we barely can see, right? And hey, I can pretend that there's maybe even another planet that's super close by to this one. And maybe this one has lots of moons, right? So these moons are really close to it because there are planets that have 2 moons or 3 moons, and even Jupiter, I think it has about, 20 or something. I'm not exactly sure how many Jupiter has. You guys gotta tell me that. Maybe I can see that there's the sun, but it's closer to us than usual, but it's still far away. So it's gonna be a little bit small, and I can have some waves from it too, right? And oh, maybe there's some asteroids, and I can just make some ovals with that, but they're not too close to us, right? So they're a little bit farther away, which means that they're small, right? And remember, the biggest thing about this is if it's super close to us, that means that it's big. If it's far, far away from us, it's small, right? If it's somewhere in between, and it's going to be maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit of a medium size, right? So this is where you guys can have fun. I want you to show me by drawing yourself among the stars, right? So you can draw yourself really close to planets. You can draw yourself really close to moons or stars. But I also want you to still think about, if we're still among the stars, guess what? There's going to be so many that are still far away from us, right? So there's still going to be tiny, tiny little dots we see, and maybe tiny, tiny little asteroids here and there, all right? So think about that as we go along, all right? And I'm so excited to see you all soon. Bye, friends. All right, so usually we do this on black paper. If we're not doing it on black paper this year, then I want you to do it with markers. Now, how you do that is we're going to have a bunch of different kinds of markers. Now, we're gonna first think about our planets, right? So I'm gonna first color in my planet. Maybe I wanna color in my ring, so it's gonna be like this blue color, right? I can even think about my stars. Are they going to be like these little dots of just orange, right? Of just yellow, right? Think about what that means, okay? And continue on with that, right? So today I just want you to color in your planets. You can even add a couple colors to each things, because who knows, maybe planets have lots of little colors that we can't even see. So what I mean by that is this moon I made purple, maybe there's a little pink in it, right? You guys can tell me, right? And I'm just gonna do that until my whole planets and everything that I see is colored in, all right? So that's all we're doing today. You're just coloring your planets, your stars, and your little different things that you drew there. All right, hope to see you all soon. All right, here's the last part. What you're going to do is you're going to color in the background, and it's just going to be black. Now, if you don't have a lot of black, that's okay, right? And you're just going to be really careful as you go along. Remember that craftsmanship is my biggest thing that I really want you guys to practice, right? So you're just going one at a time, right? All right, and then we're going to fill in the whole thing with that, but I don't want to use all of my black marker right now. So, and it's okay if you need to have a replacement black marker in the meantime, okay? So I'm excited to see how you all do, and I hope that you all are doing well. Finish up the background here, and I'll have a fully colored and beautiful masterpiece. So I'm excited to see you all. Bye, friends.